Hi, I'm Islip Town Supervisor Angie Carpenter. You know, recently the CDC reported that in 2019 there were over 70,980 deaths due to the overdose from heroin or opioids, more than any other year in history. Early local reporting indicates that Suffolk County, particularly the towns of Brookhaven and Islip, have seen a significant increase in opioid and heroin overdoses since the pandemic and the quarantine began. On Monday, August 31st, the Town of Islip and Islip Goes Purple will mark International Overdose Awareness Day. September is Recovery Awareness. The color of recovery is purple. Islip Goes Purple is about supporting those who are struggling with addiction. As an individual, a family, or those who have lost a loved one, and I think it's touched almost all of our lives in some way. It's about allowing love, compassion, and support. It's about knowing that recovery is possible. Throughout the month of September, the Town of Islip and Islip Goes Purple will feature 5 theme weeks. These themes will be supported by videos offering helpful information, resources, and useful links that can be viewed at the Town of Islip YouTube channel, on Islip Television Altice Channel 18, or on Verizon's Channel 1982. Theme Week 1 will explain what Islip Goes Purple is all about. Week 2 will explore the topic of raising awareness. Week 3 offers access to help. Week 4 discusses Stop the Stigma. Week 5 encourages conversation. Please remember that we are one township. Please visit our website at islipny.gov and all of the social media platforms throughout the month of September for more information on Islip Goes Purple and for important resources and information about recovery. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the members of Islip Town's Drug Abuse Awareness Task Force, to its chairs, Mary Ann Pfeiffer and Drew Scott, and to our Town Board Liaison, Councilwoman Mary Kate Mullen. Please remember, we are one Islip, one family. There is strength in numbers, and healing and recovery is possible. Thank you so much.
My name is David Vizzini. I'm the Senior Director of Residential Services for Outreach. Outreach is a drug and alcohol program that services adults and adolescents for outpatient and residential care in Brentwood, which is in the Town of Islip. I also have the privilege of serving on the Opioid Prevention Task Force for the Town of Islip. The task force is meeting today on August 31st to kick off Recovery Month, which is in the month of September. Our kicking off process is going to be Islip Goes Purple. Islip Goes Purple is the way that the Town of Islip is trying to recognize the importance of substance use and the treatment and prevention and awareness. We ask you to join us in this event over the month of September and honoring and supporting people that are in recovery who suffer from substance use disorders. Part of our mission here at Outreach is to help young people and adults with treatment and getting them the services they need to build healthy lives. So we ask you during the month of September to recognize substance use and awareness, all right, in the Town of Islip as well as in the state of New York. Here at Outreach, we are working with families and young adults especially and helping them stabilize themselves in their recovery process. Here at Outreach, we have an array of services for adolescents as well as adults, outpatient and residential. On the adolescent front, we work with all different school districts in the towns of Islip, as well as the Opioid Prevention Task Force with the town, to help young people as well as adults to achieve their sobriety. Our goal with the town and the Town of Islip Prevention Opioid Task Force is to bring public awareness to this crisis in a crisis. Right now, with the COVID-19 virus being so devastating to our state and to our county as well as our town, there's another crisis occurring with substance use. Opioid related deaths, substance use, all are on the rise. All of these things are things in which that we need your help and awareness to combat and to work to treat and help people in this day and age. And I know it's a lot to ask with everything that's going on, but the crisis inside of the crisis is equally as important. And we ask for your support, and we thank you for taking your time to be part of our Substance Abuse Awareness Month activity that the Town of Islip is putting on, ISLIP Goes Purple.
Thank you to the Town of Islip for making Islip Goes Purple. That is a month-long program to try to elevate the concern about substance abuse awareness. My name is Dr. Louis Teitelbaum. I am the chairman of the Department of Psychiatry at Good Samaritan Hospital, and I am on the front lines of the treatment of opiate abuse in the Town of Islip. I am the person who sees the opiate abuser when they decide to come in for help or when they're found unconscious on the street when they are overdosing. We in the Town of Islip are uniting to try to prevent opiate abuse. We are not immune as a town. We are facing the epidemic of COVID, but also the epidemic of deaths from overdose from heroin. This is a non-discriminatory disease. This affects rich, poor, young, old, all socioeconomic classes, all races. Opiates are medications that are used in medicine for the treatment of pain and for respiratory diseases. They are also drugs that intoxicate people and make people feel high and euphoric, and therefore many people enjoy using them and very rapidly become addicted to the effects of the drug and need to continue increasing the concentrations, the amounts. They spend a lot of time, money, and effort in obtaining drugs. They have a specific behavior that we call behavior designed to continue the supply of drugs. This is a serious problem with up to 128 Americans dying every day. There are 1 million active opiate addicts in the United States, each of them spending approximately $150 a day. Look for the signs of opiate usage, which include finding paraphernalia like tourniquets, syringes, glassine envelopes, small pieces of foil, small pieces of plastic bags, lighters, burnt spoons. Be aware that opiates strongly suppress respiration, and there is the problem, because since opiates are often cut with other drugs such as fentanyl, since opiate addicts often like to mix them with benzodiazepines like Xanax, all of those drugs work synergistically to dramatically decrease the drive to breathe. Therefore, people, when they overdose on opiates accidentally, they often reduce their breathing, their frequency of breathing drops. We describe it as agonal breathing, and their breathing can stop, and then they can die. This can be reversed by the use of Narcan. If you see someone lying on the street and you don't know what's the matter, are they blue? Are their pupils pinpoint? Is there paraphernalia around? If you have Narcan, administer it. Try hard to wake them up. Call 911 immediately. We have a very rapid response in the Town of Islip. All of our local authorities are very aware of what to do and how to treat opiate overdoses. Remember that opiates are often cut with chemicals that are dangerous to the body. They are unclean substances that lead to bodily infections that cause people to end up in the hospital with very serious cardiac diseases, skin diseases, abscesses, heart valve injuries. This includes Hep C, HIV. Remember that opiate users face tremendous social problems. Their use makes them ineffective at employment, and they are unable to support themselves. Therefore, they resort to selling the drug, they resort to criminality, they resort to prostitution to continue their supply of drug. Narcan is the most important drug for opiate awareness because Narcan is able to reverse the very serious effects of opiates and the respiratory suppression. It must be given rapidly, it must be given early enough, it must be combined with resuscitation efforts, and sometimes it does not work. It is not foolproof. So What you can do now is clean out your medicine cabinets. Don't expect to get opiates. Don't give out your opiates. Don't share your opiates. Don't enable a drug addict, but offer them help. Learn to support the local programs. Remember that every person is full of potential. Remember what Rocky said, that it's not how hard you punch, it's how hard you can take it and keep going. Thank you to the town of Islip. Let's all unify, let's all unite to fight opiate addiction and dependence.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Jason. I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm also the program director for addiction services at South Oaks Hospital. At South Oaks, we offer quality care in the treatment of addiction. We do that in our inpatient rehabilitation program as well as our outpatient programs. So for our outpatient programs, we have a program for adults. We have an intensive outpatient and an outpatient program. We also have a program specifically for adolescents where we serve individuals 13 and above who are either themselves struggling with addiction or have a guardian or loved one that is struggling with addiction and it's having an impact on them. We also have a program specifically for significant others of people with addiction. So if you are a family member of somebody who's struggling with addiction and they may not be at a place where they are willing to or ready to be involved in treatment, that we're able to still support you because we understand that this is a disease that impacts the whole family. So we want to be able to provide treatment for the family. Because this is a conversation that's so close to our heart at South Oaks and the importance of being able to help people on their path of recovery that are struggling with the disease of addiction. We're very proud to be able to be a part of ISLIP Goes Purple. So ISLIP Goes Purple is a great way for the town to be able to help support the community around education and understanding and supporting around the disease of addiction. So we're really proud to be a part of ISLIP Goes Purple. It's a great way for the community to all be on the same page about what that looks like in terms of having the conversation to reduce stigma around the disease of addiction, to increase access to care around addiction, and to help make more stories in recovery and less of the stories that we hear on the news sometimes, or that we might very well personally have been impacted by. One of the things that I'll be talking on, part of what ISLIP Goes Purple does is they provide different educational forums for us as a community to get more educated around the disease of addiction. I'm really proud personally to be able to speak to the stigma and how that impacts addiction and to help work through some of the ways that we might be able to change our language and reduce the stigma of addiction. There's other topics presented throughout the month of September, Recovery Month, so it's really important and helpful that everyone's on the same page and involved in this really, really special endeavor. So thank you all for being a part of this, and I appreciate you being here.
Hi, my name is Kathy Koningsdorf. I'm the Executive Director and founder of the Jake K Foundation and a member of the ISIP Opioid Task Force. I've been with that task force for 2 years now. About a year ago, a little over a year ago now, I guess, I brought a concept, an initiative to that task force, which they've embraced with incredible open arms. The initiative's called Islip. It was called Going Purple, so now it's Islip Goes Purple. The concept is that we as a community, across the entire state and nation, everywhere that we know, people are suffering from substance use disorder. Families are being devastated. Loss is astronomical. And we had to do something that let people be able to not worry about being stigmatized or shunned for what they're experiencing or someone in their family is experiencing, but how do we stand for the guy that lives 2 doors down and we know they've just had a loss due to an overdose? Or how do we stand for the mom 2 blocks over that we see at the PTA meetings whose child is in the middle of the struggle and she's crying, left and right? How do we support those people, and how do we support ourselves? So the initiative ISLIP Goes Purple brings that conversation to the public. It brings a way for everybody, government, businesses, community members, neighbors, family members, to help support somebody that they may or may not know is struggling. And the concept was originally to put a purple light in every house, right? If every house for the month of September, which is Recovery Month, starts August 31st with Overdose Awareness Day, and then it goes through Recovery Month is the month of September. If every house put a purple light in it, even if you weren't personally affected, your neighbor who you may not even know the struggle that they're in, or their mother is in, or their child is in, that person's going to be like, oh my God, my neighbor cares and doesn't even know my troubles. So the idea was to bring something that was positive, didn't cause anybody any more possible shame or discomfort, and brings the conversation to an acceptable place. So it's right now a town-wide concept. It's in many other states. It's existed for years in other places, and it's time Long Island opened the conversation for recovery. So ISLIP Goes Purple. We want everyone to understand they are not alone in this struggle.